गुड इवनिंग सर।
गुड इवनिंग, गुड इवनिंग। Hi everyone. Uh, so let's continue the session. Today we start with modifying existing data in base R and treating missing values and outliers. So we are going to start with uh, this library VCD. Okay. And why we are importing this library? So because of this arthritis data set. Okay. So we want this arthritis data set here. And if you want, I could give some name to this arthritis dataset object name, uh, and we could perform in a better way, or we could use the arthritis as it is. So VCD I am importing first, and then I will show you this arthritis dataset. I think you are already aware about it, arthritis dataset. So this arthritis dataset is it is arthritis treatment data and data from the Koch and Edwards 1988 from a double-blind clinical trial investigating a new treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. And this data frame has 84 observations and 5 variables. First variable is the patient ID. Second variable is a treatment factor indicating treatment, placebo and treated. And placebo means the pseudo treatment. Okay. And the sex is given male and female. Age of patient, that is a numeric or the integer we could say. And the last one is the improved, which is the ordered factor, none, some and marked, none improvement, marked improvement, and some improvement. So is there anybody want to ask something about this data what I explained? Yes? No? Okay. So we want to add a new column. That very simple. We add a new column, and with our base approach we use a new column log underscore age. Log underscore age. So first I do one thing, it would be better for you. So I just write the so arthritis dataset I am taking MD, and I write the arthritis and I run it. So you see now it is here in global environment, and we are having this data set. The patient ID is here, and the treatment is here, the sex, age, and improvement. Whenever we get some data, we see the structure also along with view. So we see the structure of this data, MD. So look at here, the structure is the ID is the integer, and the treatment is factor with 2 levels, and sex is factor with 2 levels, and age is an integer, and the improved in the order factor, with 3 levels, none, some, and marked. And after that, we see the summary also of MD. So look at here, this is the summary we are getting. The ID is not, this is not required for ID. This summary is not usable for ID. Treatment is two treatment, placebo and treated. The 43% is treated with the placebo treatment and the 41 with the actual treatment. Gender we see 59 are the female and the 25 are the male. Age we see the minimum age of the patient is 23 and the maximum age of a patient is 74 in this group. 46 is the first quartile, 57 is the median, 53.36 is the mean, and 63 is the third quartile. And in the improved, we see the 42 patients have non-improvement, 14 have some improvement after the treatment, and 28 had marked improvement. So this the basic summary we have. Okay. Now I want to create a new column, and I know that the age is a numeric, it is an integer basically, and I want the log value of this with the new column. And hypothetically, I am creating, not it is there is no use of that column. I know that, but I would like to say how we could create a new column with some functions. Okay, we have a log function, so we could create a new column with this. So I just write MD dollar. There is a no that column name, so I will write the log underscore age. This is a new column, and I will just take the log. And log we have different log base e, log base 10, log base 2 in this way. So I am taking log base e exponential log, and here I write that column name age. And you see there are 5 variables. Now if I run this, there would one variable will increase. There are 6 variables, and I show you that variable. These are the log values. Got it? So in this way, we could mutate some new variable. Okay. This is the R base approach. Similarly, if I want to create a new variable with the help of dplyr, then what I will use. So first of all, I have to run a library, import this library dplyr, because I have not imported so far. And then I will use MD. Then pipe2 function I have to use. Control Shift and M. Note it down. Control Shift M. You will get this sign. Pipe2. Control Shift M. Okay. So I am taking the data from MD. It means I am taking the data from MD, and I am saving whatever the output I will get. I will save in the MD also. Got it? So I just write here now what I want to do. I want to mutate a column, and that column name I want to give square root column. Suppose square root of age. So I got a SQ underscore age column, new column. And this column I will get through the function square root of age. So age, we see how we have written the age here in a capital. A is capital. I don't have to mention the MD again and again in the dplyr. Here I have to mention the MD dollar age. Here I don't have to mention it, because I have taken the everything from the MD. Got it? Now there are 6 variables. If I run it,
is MD your for personal data, or what? I tried executing this code, but it shows that.
yes. What?
MD is your personal data or something else? Is it inbuilt in the package?
No, MD, I have given the object name to this arthritis, which is arthritis data is in package of VCD.
But I tried executing these codes. It was error was displaying.
First, you run the library VCD or install the library package VCD first.
It's already installed.
You install it. Packages, you go to packages, you see here. You have installed it or not?
Yeah, it's already installed.
Installed VCD.
Yeah.
So run that library VCD first.
Okay,
Because I have run it in the last page.
okay,
So I didn't run here.
okay, fine.
Run it, then you do it. Okay.
Okay.
Because I run in the last page. Okay. So I have not written it here.
Okay, okay.
Now I run it and I see one variable increase. You see now here is 7 variables and I will show you that 7 variables the squarens. Any method you could apply, R base or the dplyr method. Okay.
Sir, if we want to add any row, then what would be the procedure?
For row, you have to use the R bind, which we explained in the R1 also. R bind and C bind also we have explained over there. That is the adding a new row. Na?
Yeah.
So then you have to create one vector. Then you could add the row.
Yes. No, sir. What I am telling that, suppose we have data starting from 1990 to 2019. Now, for a particular variable, now we want to add the data of 2020. So in that case, we have to introduce one additional row.
Yes. But
Then
how many variables you have? You may have more variables over there.
it may be so, sir. Suppose we have 3 or 4 variables.
So then you have to create one vector for that. Just like new row, I write here. And then as per the variables, you have to put these all things. Suppose I am putting here ID. I am putting ID 122. As per this, I have to write. Then treatment, I want to put the placebo. Okay. So and third is what? Gender. Is it capital or small? Capital. Then improved. I write some. And then age is also there. Age I forget to write here age. In this way, and this value I could write 5.6 and something, whatever. 2. And I run it first. So I have new. And then I will C bind or R bind. MD. R bind. MD, comma. Got it?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So in this way, I will get it. And that new row you see here.
Sir,
Getting?
is deployer again? I should install some package for deployer. It's showing error for deployer again.
Okay, you are running deployer,
Yeah.
or what message it is giving to you? What
There is
error?
no package called deployer.
So you have installed it or not?
So it's needed to be installed deployer.
You have installed
No,
previously.
no, I wasn't aware that should be installed.
So you install it first if you have not installed. You in the packages you go and install it. Deployer, you write here deployer and install it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then only you can import it. I again run it because it has mismatched. So I again run. So this I explained you how to add a new column. What I am doing now, I will show you the paste function. A new column, another new column I am going to add it. So I am going to add a new column with I want to paste this ID with this improved new column I want. So first I take the RBase approach, MD dollar. I write the name ID improved IMP, new column name ID IMP, and just I use the paste 0 function. Oh, everybody knows about this function. Here I am using MD dollar ID, then MD dollar improved, and you will see there would be the 8th variable in our data set now. So it is the 8th variable. The 57 some improvement, 46 ID has none improvement, 77 ID has none improvement. So it is the pasted ID, these two columns. So this is a way you could paste it. Now I want one more variable. In that variable, I want to indicate the patient's age less than 40. Should be yes. And the patient age equal to more than 40 should be false. That way I want it. So MD dollar patient age 40, I am writing the name, and then I use one if else statement. If else MD dollar age is smaller than 40. And I could use this in that way also. I just do it. If else, or if I don't use the if else, that is okay. If else not, I am using. I just using this. Okay. And you see, it would be our 9th variable. And I will show you first this 9th variables. You will get the true and false. So this age is 27 less than 40, so it is true. And this is 46, so greater than 40, so it is false. But I want this in a numeric form. Numeric means 0 and 1. So I just put as dot numeric. And you see what will happen when I run this. So now I show you again. This is the 1 and 0. Got it? So we could convert them in 1 and 0. Okay. Got it? So we have got in 1 and 0. Next we see.
So in my case, a separate MD is not, a separate MD file is not being displayed.
MD5.
Yeah, the third MD which you have been displaying till now.
MD.
After running the code, MD the table is not being displayed in my case after running.
This table.
Yeah, it's not displayed.
So you just click here. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. We have two options. We could click here or we could write the view. V is capital. View MD. Okay?
Okay.
So we have two options. So this I have explained you how to mutate the variable. Have I explained you about the for loop and while loop?
No, sir.
The last session, R1. Yes. Yes. And the R1 who has attended, I have explained here.
No, sir, haven't.
Decision making chapter I have explained.
No.
Yes. Okay. So I will explain you that also. So now I talk about the empty cast data. Okay. And I am also taking the empty cast data as MD. So I will remove this. And empty cast data, you know already. Do you want explanation or you know it already, the empty cast data?
Empty cast data, we know.
You all know, so don't need to explain it. I just explain you. There are 32 observation, 11 variables, little bit. And these are the mileage, cylinder, displacement, horsepower, draft, weight, cubic, VS, AM, gear, and carburetor. If we see the structure, all variables are numeric here. Got it? The class of our variable is numeric. And if I want to find out the mean of mileage, so I have this option, mean. I could find out anything, the SD or the single mileage. If I want to find out the mean of all variables, so if I write the mean MD, I will get some warning. and I will not get the mean. So either I have to use some other function, or I have to use the for loop. So in the for loop, what we write, I is the position here. I in 1:n column. We have the n column, 11 columns of the MD. So first it will run on the first column and give us the output. Then it will run on this function will run on the second column and give us that output. In this way, it will give us the 11 output. Got it? Loop is the iterative in nature. The first it works for the first and then second and then third and then fourth. Does that make sense to everyone? And
Can you explain it once again?
what?
Can you explain this once again?
In the for loop, the first part is where we want to apply it. We write the I is the position of the column, the first column, second column, third column. So I in 1:n column. N is here 11. I could write 11 also instead of n column. Got it? So I will be 1 first, and the first column it will take and find out the whatever we have written in the curly bracket, whatever task we have given. So this the task is given by us. So you find out the mean of MD, and comma is why before comma there is rows, and the after comma there is column. So before comma we are not writing anything, means it will calculate the mean for all rows. Correct? 32 rows. And it find out the mean from the 32 rows. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And I is for the one, then second, and then third, and then I just run this and you could get better. Got it?
Yes, sir.
We have got it. The mean of each column. Any doubt?
No, sir.
So one by one, the first column it has taken first, then second column, and then third column.
If I is equal to 1, then result is 20.09062.
It is a mean of first column, that is a mileage.
Yes, sir.
And then cylinder, then displacement.
75 is mean of second column.
Yes. And then third column in this way we are getting. Okay. And later on we see, I tried for the row, but row it is giving me some 32 warnings it is giving me, but I don't know why it is giving me that warning. You could do it for any, you could change the number here. Okay. We have another method already. There is a formula for column means. So you could write the col means MD. You will get the mean of our column. No need to apply for loop. Row means, if you want the means of row, so you will get the means of all row. Okay. So row means we are getting through it. We are not working the for loop here. And we have some function for the various loops. Okay. So I will explain you one by one. Here I am using the empty cast data as a MD script, just I change. And you know that the empty cast data, we have three variables are binary, 0 and 1, VS and M. And first, I would like to apply function. Apply is a family of various apply functions. First function is itself apply. And the apply function, there are three required arguments. One is the X is the data, second is the margin, third is the function. Data means what variable you want. So I require the MD dollar mileage. And I want the mean of columns. So margins, we have 1 and 2. Two values for margins, 1 and 2. One for row and second for column. Okay. So if I want the mean of column, then I will write 2. And whatever the function I required the mean. If I required the sum, I required the minimum, I required the maximum, I required the SD, whatever you require, you could write here. Even your own function you could perform here. Okay, you create your own function and you could work here. So I show MD mileage mean 2. Correct. Oh, sorry. We want the mean of our columns. I have mentioned the column name also there. MD1 or MD2, all columns. Sorry. MD2, the column of MD dataset, empty cast dataset, 11 columns mean I want. A single I could get easily. That was the error, the applying one mean that I was positive length. So we have not positive length. No, variables want not more than one. And if I want the mean of rows, each row, which I will get the mean of all rows. There are 32 rows, I am getting the mean of all. Got it? Okay.
So how to get empty cost dataset? Is it in separate package?
It is in the R default. R based data set, you could directly just write MD, empty cars, and it will be import. Okay, it is the R based data set for practice. So this apply function, you understand? I could use the SD also. I find the SD of each column. Okay. What it?
Min max. Max.
I could not notice what you are telling. So
So
yes.
calculate min maximum, minimum, maximum from
Ah,
there.
you could write the minimum, maximum, whatever you want. If you want minimum, if you want maximum, if you want median.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So whatever you want, you could get here. All the statistics
Excuse
with
me,
apply
sir.
function. 3 required arguments. First is data set name. Second is the margin or row or column. And third one is the function. Okay, this is the apply function. Second function is the lapply.
So one question.
Yes.
When I try to calculate the mean of MD overall, it says that the argument is not numeric or logical.
You write the same way.
Mean and MD only, like what you have shown above. So then it says that the argument is not numeric or logical.
In MD, there is non-numerical data also.
So for the same data set you are doing?
Yes, sir, for MD. Yes, I did this. And when I do the mean of MD, then I get this statement.
Mean of MD or apply function you are using? What you are using?
No, sir. Like what you have shown above in the beginning, I'm asking about that, not for apply function.
Mean MD.
Mean MD, yes.
It will not give you.
Why, sir?
Because the mean we will get if you put the dollar and the single column mean you could find through this.
Okay, okay. That one I got.
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Specific column you could write the mean and the MD dollar in this way. Okay. It is for the all column. We are using like a loop. It is a substitute of loop. Behind apply function there is a for loop works. Got it? In lapply function there are 2 arguments required. One is the data and second is the function only. There is no margin. So the where we get it, so we get the result for columns only. Here we could not get the result for rows in the lapply, or the output we will get in a list format. Here we are getting this output in a vector format, vector class. It is a vector data type, and there we get in a list data type. So I just show you mean of this, and you see this is a list mileage cylinder. We are getting the output in a list format. Got it? There are also 2 required arguments. So it also provides us in a same as lapply, mapply, sorry, as apply function. but it will provide us only for columns as apply. Okay. And
Sir, why is it showing generate function for trimmed arithmetic mean? What does trimmed arithmetic mean?
trimmed is the mean between Q1 and Q3 data, 50% data mean. Mean of the 50% data is called the trimmed mean here in R.
Okay.
Okay, which
Okay.
the data, the middlemost data. Okay,
Okay.
between Q3 and Q1, first quartile and third quartile. Got it?
Okay.
Now we have one very important apply function, which is too much used. That is a T apply. And you see, whenever I write, it give me one snippet library name and one base. To always select the base. We have the function for both. Sometimes if you have installed that library, then in the T apply, what happens? There are three arguments. First is numeric data. Second is categorical data. And third is function. Suppose I want the mean of mileage, but with respect to number of cylinders. There are 4 cylinders, 6 cylinder and 8 cylinder. So I want the mean of mileage for 4 cylinder vehicle, then for 6 cylinder, then for 8 cylinder. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So I want the mean of mileage with respect to categorical variable. Okay, with respect to categories. So I just write the first one, that is my variable. It is not a data, it is a variable I am taking, the numeric variable. Second, I am taking cylinder. I don't know whether it work or not because it is in the numeric form here, but we try. Okay, it is working. Got it? So in the 4 cylinder vehicle, we are getting 26.66 US gallon per miles per gallon. Mileage. And the 6 cylinder 19.74 miles per gallon and 8 cylinder 15.1 miles per gallon. Got it? Yes. You could apply some more T apply function. Here again I am applying for the mileage, but here I am taking the gear transmission. Okay, automatic and manual. Find out the mean. You see 0 is the automatic vehicle which provides us the less mileage, and the manual vehicle provides us the greater mileage, 24.39. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So this is a T apply function. This we required most of the times during analysis. So I think the apply functions you all have got it now. Now here you are getting this output in a vector form, the table form. If I write T and I save it, I will show you the class T. It is array. Okay. If I see the output of this, you save it as S, and you see the class what we are getting is, so it is okay. Is we have run it again and see numeric. It is a vector class, and L apply. I just write L and I run it, and I show you the class L. So it is a list class, and here I write A and I run it, and I will show you the class of A. Get the numeric class. Got it? So you could check it. Give an object name and check the class. Okay. So this is all about the mEmployee. I will explain you. mEmployee is multivariate version of sapply. sapply we have done earlier. mApply is function to the first element of each argument and the second elements and the third elements and so on. Arguments are required as recycled if necessary. So we do something here. Function, the arguments are function first we have to write here. Then more arguments, a list of arguments to function, and simplify, use dot names, logical use names if the first argument is names, of it is character vector, or use the character vector as the names. So I will show you this. Because we have not used it, mApply, we don't use it, but I just run it, we could see, because we have not applied it anywhere. Run this first, I see. It provides the output in a list. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Okay. We are repeating 1:4. This is a function, repetition. 1:4. We are repeating.
2 to 3, 3 to 2, 4 to 1.
And 4:1. The first is 4 times. Second is 3 times. Then third is 2 times. Then 4 is 1 time. So in this way, but we have not used it so far. It is not applicable in the data analytics part most of the time. Okay. So you could read it on the internet wherever the data frame we require this. I have not seen somewhere it in the data analytics. So main functions are the lapply we use somewhere, we use the tapply, we use the apply function, and the sapply sometimes. Now I will show you how to create our own function.
Sir, you added a question mark before mEmployee. What does that mean?
If you want to know the syntax of any function, you just put a question mark, then write that function, and you will get here that details.
Okay.
Okay. So first put the question mark, then write the function name.
Then run it.
Why do we have to put 2 question mark?
Sometimes we require in the function is something, some arguments inside the function, then we require 2 question mark. Only then. Okay. If it does not give us with the single question mark, then you write another question mark. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's now I am making a function, my own function, and that function name is my underscore function object function name, and this is the function is our attribute, our keyword or the attribute we could say, and the keyword, and here I am putting a x. X is a variable. It is the attributes we could say. X is any variable we have, and m is the mean of x. We want to find out the mean of this whatever variable we have taken, SD of that, and then we return this function with r. That is the mean plus 3 standard deviation. It means upper limit of outliers we are going to find out. I explained you the outliers.
Yes, sir.
So that is the mean plus 3 standard SD. So that I have written here. So I run this function. So this function will active. I have created the function. but whenever you create the function, you have to call it, then you will get some output. Okay.
Yes.
As there is a inbuilt function mean, है ना? So mean is there, but when we call it, then it will give us the mean. So calling is necessary. So if I call this my function, I just show you one example for that. This is my function, and I call it for my variable mileage. I want to see whether there is what should be the outer limit in the mileage. So this is the 38.17 is the outlier limit for mileage. Is it clear to all? Yes. And if I see the maximum value of that mileage, that is only 33.9. So my outlier is greater than, outlier limit is greater than my maximum value. So there is no outliers. Got it?
Yes, sir.
No value is greater than 38.17. It means there is no outlier. All values are less than 38.17, matlab less than 33.9. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in this, I don't have that outliers. So I'm also making one more function with the name of other. Upper limit. That is the my function. You know that we have created earlier. I am writing upper dot limit for my function. What output it will give me? It will give me this. What is this? This is the upper limit. Got it?
Yes,
So
sir.
I just, my function I am writing, in a function I am writing my previous function, whose output would be my upper limit. And I want to know sum of x is greater than upper limit. The value, whatever the values in that variable is greater than upper limit, I want those numbers. How many are there? Num out. I am giving the object name number underscore out. And I want that number out. Got it?
Yes, sir.
When I run this and I call it what other function. So automatically my function will run is inside it. Okay, automatically. So there is no outlier we have seen earlier.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
This is the way to make our own function. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Our own function we could make here.
We can use it for mathematical formula.
Formula, yes. I am making one more function, my function x. You know that the circumference of circle, we know that
Yes,
2
sir.
pi r.
2 pi r.
And there is only one variable in a circle. That is the radius only. Okay. So I am taking one attribute and I am writing here circle 2 into pi into x. X is this one variable. The radius I will write here. Okay.
Yes.
And return circle. So I just run this function and I call this function for 1. If I take the radius 1, what circumference I will get? So I will get 6.28, 2 pi r. If I write here 5.
2.
Okay, 2 if I write, so we will get here 12.56.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this I have created here. One function I have created for factorial. Factorial, there is already a function in the R for factorial. Okay. So that function name is factorial. So you could direct put the factorial 5. It should be 120. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2.
Yes, sir.
And I have also made one function. That's name I have given fact. So how we could create this factorial function, I just want to show you that, because the Python, there is no factorial function. So we have to create ourselves that factorial function. So the function n n is the number for which you want the factorial. If n equal to 1 and n equal to 0, it is 1. So because we know that the factorial value of 1, factorial 1 is equal to 1 and factorial 0 is also equal to 1. We know it. Okay. And else, if it is not, n is not 1 or 0, then return n into factorial n minus 1. Okay. And result would be factorial n print result. So I run this and I call this function for factorial 5, my function. So it is 120. If I call it for 2, so it is 2.
2.
Okay. If I call it for 3, it would be 6.
6.
Got it?
Yes.
So in this way, we could create our own function. Now here, I am using that function other, which I created ourselves. And how many outliers are there we want to see in the other function. So apply function, I am using empty cars, and every column I want this other function. So you see there is no outliers, only one outlier in a carburetor. Got it? Is it clear to all? Now in empty cars, I am using the apply function with function x. Function x I am creating here itself on this function. I am not, I am creating this function x sum. X is greater than my function. This function I have taken the previous one, which was showing me the upper limit. And the x is greater than upper limit, that sum I want here. Okay. And that's function x. So I run it. So I also get the same thing. Okay. So I could use the other function, or I could use this one also. Okay. So this one is better. First one. T apply I have explained you earlier. So now we take another data set and that is there is a library H flights, and in this flights we are getting a data set H flights. So we have to install this package H flights, and I am running the dplyr because dplyr will be required over there, and the library H flights, and I will show you this data H flights first. And before showing, just view this year. It is the data of the 2011 year only. We have the only 1 year data. We have up to the December. We have day of the week 2nd and the day of month 6 and month 12. We have this data, and we have 6,83,259 rows. We could say that like that we have, I will show you this.
Why are some packages in default, and why should something be some others be downloaded? Why is it in this?
Because for the training purpose, for the teaching, I have selected few data sets by which I could explain in a better way some things.
No, I mean, why is this R particularly having more downloaded content? Why is it downloaded content not available in the pre-installed version?
I will show you there are so many data sets, not only one in the R. Just write the data and you run it. You will see these are all the data in the R base. But that is how up to you which data set you want to use for explanation something. Got it? There are so many data sets. I could select from here also. H flights, but H flights is the data of the H flights. You know that? Austin flights data. These are the dplyr data sets. These are the VCD data sets. And R-based data sets are, I will show you. These are the data sets of the R-base. These all up to, I will show you up to here. Up to here. All data sets of the R-base. Okay. Got it? So I want to use these H flights for explaining something. It depends on the what data set you want. Okay. For the training purpose, we could not use a single data set and we could not explain the each and every corner of this analytics with the one data set only. So I will show you H flights data set first, explain this. This data set contains all flights departing from Houston airports. Departing. The data comes from the Research and Innovation Technology Administration at the Bureau of Transportation and Statistics. Data frame has 227,496 rows and 21 columns. Variables you see, there are the first three variables I explain you: year, month, and day of month, the date of a departure. They have not given the date in a single column. They have given the year, then another column they have given the month, and the third column they have given the day of month. And then they have given a day of week, and week starts with Sunday. Departure time and arrival time is there. In a local time, hour, minute. Unique carrier, unique abbreviation for a carrier, and a different sort of flights are there. Flight number, and the tail number is just like a registration number of our car. Just like it is a tail number of the flight. Actual elapsed time of flight in minutes. Air time in minutes. Arrival delay, departure delay, if arrival and departure delays in minutes. Origin and destination. Origin and destination airport codes. Distance of the flights in miles. Taxi in, taxi out times in minutes. Cancelled and non-cancelled indicator. Yes and no. If cancelled, if it is 1, then there is a code of reason of the cancellation. A carrier, B weather, C national air system, D security. Then diverted, if the flight has been diverted due to some reason. So it is yes and no. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And here I know that the data is very high data. Number of rows are too much. So I will use some function table underscore df. A table I will use here, but it would be a data frame. It will work as a data frame, but in the processing it will take less time. So I'm using this format to read this file and using here for the analysis. So it saves my space and processing time when I do it. So H flights, I am giving flights. Okay. Table underscore df. So you see, this is just like a data frame. You will see it is like a data frame, no difference. Okay. It is a year, month, day of week, departure time, arrival time, unique carrier, flight number, tail number, actual elapsed time, air delay, departure delay, origin, destination, distance, taxi in, taxi out, cancelled, cancellation code diverted. Got it? 11 variables. 227,496 observations. Now, when we read a data frame, then we don't have to write this thing. Just write the H flights and give whatever the name MD or whatever you want. I have given here flights. If you write the MD, then you will get in the console, it will print the whole data. Try to print the whole data. And it will fill your RAM of the system. But when you have taken table underscore df, then it will, if you accidentally write the name of the data set and you run it, it will not print the whole data. It will just give us some idea, some glimpse of that data like this. Few columns it will show you. And then table 227,496 rows and 21 variables. It is showing us. It is giving us the top 10 observations and few columns only, not all. And then it write with 227,486 more rows are there and 13 more variables. And name of those variables and their class is also given everywhere. Integer or character, whatever. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So sometimes we have a big data, then we prefer this table. It saves our lots of time. Here we are using some dplyr function: filter, select, arrange, mutate, and summarize. Table is nothing. It is like a data frame. They have given the name table because it will give us in this format. Okay. Don't confuse with the table and the data frame. Both are same. Filter is for conditional filtering of the data row wise. Select the drop columns based on their names. Arrange, sort your data. Mutate, modify your data. Summarize, group by, collapse your data. Note that you can use comma or ampersand to represent any condition. And so condition based filtering, I will show you with R base approach and dplyr approach. Both we will learn here. What I am going to do here, I want the data for 1st January only. I want the data for 1st January only. It means flights in the square bracket. I will write the flights $month equal to 1, it means the first, it means the January. And is the intersection, and flights of day of month equal to 1. It means first day of the month. So first day of the month may be 1st January, maybe 1st February, maybe 1st March. But because I have taken one another condition for the January, so it will give me the data of the 1st January only. Got it? And after that I have put one comma because the filter will work in a row. So I want all the column of the 1st January. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
So I run it. I have given a D1 name and I print this D1. You see.
This is the data 1st January.
So I have got 552 observation. And in the 1st January, how many flights depart from that Houston airport? So 552 flights. Got it?
Is table a unit of data or something else?
What is?
Oh, what's table? A unit of data or anything else? Table.
Table is just like a data frame. Don't worry about it. It is a data basically. Okay.
Okay.
Don't bother about what is table. It is just like a data frame, but it saves our time. So we convert them in table underscore df. Basically, it is a data frame. If you see the class of D1, what is the final class? You see what is the final class? Third one. Finally, it is a data frame. Okay. It is a combination of the like table and these all things. So it saves our time. So we are using this. Don't bother about it. Okay. If I just write the D1 with the data frame only, so it will print so many things here or not?
Yes, sir.
In the table, it just give me a glimpse of this. So I could understand the thing. Got it?
If we write the data frame, then 542 more data will show.
Yeah. Yes. Got it? So we get how many rows are there now. So we see, if I want to know, I use a pipe to function or instead of and I use or. Then I will get the data of 31st days of January, all 31 days of January. And I am flights $month equal to 1, all 31 days data. And here flights day of month, it means 1st January, 1st February, 1st March up to 12 December, 1st December. Okay. Got it?
Got it.
So I run this. I will show you. Now, how many observations we are getting? 25,769. Okay. It is not a data of 1 day. It is the data of 30 plus 12, 42 days. One is a common day in both. Okay. It is the data of 42 days. Got it?
Yes, sir. 1 month, 12 days.
Yes.
First
1
month
month
and
1 month we get.
first day.
Yes, 1 month we get. I will tell you. 1 month in the January month we are getting the data of the 31 days, and 12 month one first data
43.
43, and the one is common.
Yes, sir. Yes.
1st
One is
January
common.
data is common both.
Yes, sir.
So that is 42. Got it?
Yes, sir.
42 days data we have. So got it? This is the R base approach. Now we use the deep layer approach. So
In
in the
case of
deep
or, yes, sir. If
deep
we
layer,
use or,
what?
if we use or, we will get that result.
This
That is
pipe
or, yeah.
function, or
Hmm.
for this pipe function, I have used this UC vertical line. You get in the above the enter sign near a backspace key with shift.
Yes, sir. I get.
Okay, and if you want the intersection, then write the end only. Okay, symbolic end. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Now we use the deep layer function. Filter is a function for deep layer library. And here I am writing the first, I have to write the data. Second argument, I am writing this, and the third writing, I am this. The month equal to 1, day of month equal to 1. And I just put comma. I could put the end also for intersection. And I could put the comma also for the intersection. Okay, it will give me the same result. You see, it is the 552.
Yes.
1st January data. Got it? Any doubt? Yes. Now, I will use the pipe function. The function would be same, but here the data and month and day of month filter. But you will get the same thing. I will show you 25,769. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So in this way, we could filter the data. Okay. Sometimes we require the filtering of the data. We could filter in this way. We could use the multiple column also for the filtering. It may be intersection, it may be overlay. Okay. We could use any technique, whatever you want. And I will show you how many unique carriers are there. You see, there are 15 unique carrier. Okay. Different sort of flights, different category of flights. Okay. Some flights are expensive, some unique carrier are not expensive. So that is for that. Some is for the cargo, some unique carrier is only for the. So that is the different unique carriers we have. But when I talk about the unique carrier in the single column, then you could only use a or. You could not use a and, because you will get only the one category now. You cannot select the A and UA both. Either you could select A or you could select UA. Got it? Any doubt? That would be a data frame, table data frame. If you, I will show you this table data frame. You will get the table data frame. So I run this, and I see there are 5,316 observation and 21 variables. And the variables will be same always. Don't worry. These observations and the A and UA flights you will get there. Okay. You could choose multi also. There are two. If you want to select A, UA, O, different unique carrier, then yeah, you will not use the equivalent pipe 2 again and again. You could use the pipe 2 here also, but I don't want to use the pipe 2 again and again. If so, I will use the percent in percent function, which is for the matching. And in C, the vector, I will write all the categories whatever I required in the unique carrier, and I run this. Look at this. The same output I am getting. Okay. Same output. Now we see some more thing. Now we see the select, how to select the columns. We have studied about the filter, how to filter the rows. Now we see how to select the columns. So I'm selecting 3 columns with the R-based approach: departure time, arrival time, and flight number. So I will use the square bracket, then comma, why I'm putting all rows I want, but 3 columns only. So before comma, there is rows. If I'm not writing anything, it will show the all rows. It will include the all rows. So I run this and I am direct, it will print on the console because I have not given any object name. So I run it. So you'll see here, departure time, arrival time, flight numbers. So this is, I have selected these 3 columns. Got it? All 227,496 rows. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir. Can we use column number instead of name?
We could use the indexing also. Yeah, we could use
Yes,
it.
sir.
You see which column is that. What column we have selected: departure time, arrival time, and flight number. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 8. 5th, 6th, and 8. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now we use the dplyr approach. So there is a function select. In the previous case, in the row, we were using filter. Here we are using select for the column. So data name, then comma, whatever the column you want to select, just write it without any, just after comma you write it. You will get this all. See here, getting the same thing with the select function.
Yes, sir.
We have some technique. I want in the flights, year to day of month, whatever the column comes between year and day of month, I want all column. Got it? So I will use the column. Whatever the columns between year and day of month will be there. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. And I want the columns which contains taxi in and taxi out, both I will get. I don't have to write the taxi in and the taxi right separately. I know there is some common prefix or suffix, so I will use that. And I also want the column which have a suffix like delay, departure delay, or the arrival delay. Okay. So if I run this, I will get 3 column, 2 to 7 columns I will get. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes.
so it means like taxi and delay are like inbuilt in R?
No,
Words?
this is the contents you will use. This content is a attribute.
Okay, okay.
So this is in the data taxi. Wherever the taxi in your column name, it will take those columns where the taxi word, taxi prefix or suffix or somewhere in that taxi is in the column name. It will fetch that column.
Okay.
No,
Okay, that
delay
means 2
also it will.
column if it has. Okay, okay.
So there are 2 columns with the taxi name we have, and
Yeah.
the delay we have 2. So it had fetched all the columns which had delay. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So this is a technique we could use it. Now nesting method. Nesting means we are using one column, then inside that we are using another column in this way. Okay. So I want to select first, I will select the column, then I will filter. That is the process. Or first I filter and then I select the column. What would be the process? The select will come first or the filter will come first? Which operation will come first?
Select.
Filter.
No, select operation will come first. So whatever the operation will come first, it will be inside. This is the first operation. First it will work. Then this will work. Got it? First we select the column, then we filter it, na? So I am selecting two columns, unique carrier and the departure delay. So I have selected these two columns. And then in departure delay, I want to know the greater than 60 I want to select on. I want to filter.
Okay.
The 60 minutes, more than 60 minutes delay flights I want to filter only. The 1 hour, more than 1 hour. 60 minutes means more than 1 hour delay flights I want to filter. Got it?
Okay, sir.
So as per the unique carrier, I want to see which unique carrier is more delay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That analysis we want to know. So you see, these are our A carrier is 90 minutes. Okay. Then A carrier 67 minutes, then 74, when 125, 82. This is the A carrier. Then AS carrier. In this way, 10,000. We have the 10,242 rows. Okay.
Okay.
We have a chaining method also for this. Chaining method, we use the pipe to function. This is the pipe to function. So we are getting this flights data. From this flight data, we are selecting these two columns, and then we are passing on for the filter for the departure delay greater than 60. That is the same thing what we have done there. Get the same output as you have seen there. Okay. So this chaining method is better than that. I feel so. Got it? First we select the variables, then we filter the variable. Okay. Later on we will see tomorrow. There are so many other things, group by, summarize, and tomorrow this chapter will finish. Okay. There is a date and everything is there. So we have to see tomorrow we finish it. And then we start tomorrow, not tomorrow is Sunday, Monday we will finish it. And then we start the inferential analysis. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So Monday it will finish. And from Tuesday we start that.
Sir, which is the best book you recommend for R programming?
R programming, we have Hadley's book are there. Hadley's Wacom.
Can you
Okay.
type it out?
So I think I should have that book. I will share. Just I see. Mhm. There are so many books, but the best one, I will say this one. Jared Lander, no. This is Eric Winkler. I have that also, but I just see it. It should be there. Okay, I will share with you that book I have. Or that is the simplest book for R. Okay.
Which one? Headley one?
I think it may be in some other folder. Oh, I'll see. I'll just write that name.
Sir, tomorrow is holiday.
Tomorrow is holiday.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, I have sent the mail, sir. Are you received?
Just a moment. Just a moment. I write the name of that book. Headley Wickham Advanced R Programming book. If you search on the net, you will get free also there. Yeah, this is also good book. Sebastis Misra. That is the R for everyone. It is also a good book. I have that. Okay. Headley Wickham has a very big contribution in R.
Is it
The
the same
visualize-
person you are? Is it the same book that you are saying now?
Yeah, Jared Lender, I have that book. No?
No, I'm asking. Is it the same book that you are saying now?
No, that is different.
Okay.
You have mentioned that is different.
Okay.
Headley's book are different too. The Springs publication is there.
Okay.
That publication is the, I think, that publication, Springs publication, I think that. Headley Wickham. Previous it was that you will get it on the net if you search. Okay, there is online. It is a book. You could read online. So it will cover the advanced R and everything. Also, data science R for packages and everything. There is a various book the Wickham Headley has written. So which Mal you are talking? Andy Field, yes. Discovering statistics using R. There are so many books. It depends. So many books.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, when we get the next phase of study material? Actually, next study materials and your video.
I have shared the video today, and today I have downloaded other also. So I will send it by tomorrow. All the things to you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow
Okay,
you will get all the stuff up to now.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow morning I will send you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Before 10, so you could practice it. Yes. Anyone else? Any doubt? Any query? Yes.
Is there any way to increase the word size in this? Like it seems very, very small. So can we increase the size some way?
Yes, yes. There is a control plus or the control shift plus. If you apply, it will increase the size.
Okay, sir.
We have some other way also. We have some other way also. I will explain you in the next session. You
Okay.
remind me when we
Okay.
start the session. So then I explain you. We could change the theme also.
Okay.
Even the font size, color, whatever you want, you could change.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So I will explain you the data all thing to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So
Thank you, sir.
meet Monday.
Okay, sir.
Okay.